Good afternoon, fellow Trenchard brats. This may well be the last occasion when I add a narrative. Not that I expect to be going anywhere, but in all probability, this DVD, The Brotherhood of the Wheel, will be the final one. I think we have come a long way since the first triennial in 1980. Each one has been successful, a feat we owe to the RAF HAAA Council. I have managed to attend every one from 1983 onwards. On other occasions, such as the last apprentice passing out parade, the dedication of windows and the visit of Her Majesty the Queen when she presented the colour to RAF Halton and also unveiled the tribute in October 1997. If you will allow me to speak as an individual, there are a few points I should like to make. These videos and DVDs would not exist if it had not been for the cooperation of a number of people. Firstman Larkin, whom I contacted with the germ of an idea for a video. He wanted it produced professionally. I did not know enough about them to do that. So we contacted Gordon Taylor of the 65th, the professional with whom I was put in touch. The station commander at the time, Group Captain D.A. Walker, gave his permission for Gordon and myself to wander around the station taking video shots. I should also like to mention this final title, The Brotherhood of the Wheel, because I believe we brats are a fraternity.
Trenchard brat here that I'm sitting with, and I'm going to have a talk to him and find out what Trenchard brat really is.
Thank you, Ralph. Lord Trenchard, a West Country man, is known as the father of the Royal Air Force, and he founded 3 institutions which became the backbone of the Royal Air Force. The first institution was the Officer Cadet School at Cranwell, and the second institution was the Staff College near Bracknell in Berkshire, and the third institution, of course, was the Apprentice School at RAF Portland. Now, between 1920 and 1993, 40,000 boys aged between 15 and 17 and a half passed through Bolton from all around the country and all around the world, and they became known affectionately throughout the air forces of the world as Trenchard's brats.
Is this wheel badge the emblem of Trenchard's brat?
Yes, it is.
Wendover, not far from RAF Halton, was to become the focal point of RAF administration on that day in September. And for me, that was the beginning of it all. I duly reported, and with 370 other young men, I began a 3-year apprenticeship in the Royal Air Force. Halton was the #1 school of technical training. It could be said that it was the first ever aeronautical college in Great Britain. And I was to wear the arm badge known as the Wheel, giving me the rank of aircraft apprentice.
Oh, I do hope he'll be all right and hasn't got lost. Do you think they'll let us know if he's got there safely?
Now don't worry, Mother. The RAF will look after him, and he's with a crowd of lads of the same age. He'll have a whale of a time.
Dear parents, you will be pleased to know that your son has arrived safely at Halton. He will be in #1 apprentice wing with other boys of his entry. The staff is selected for its ability to teach and train boys with understanding and tolerance, and you may rest assured that his welfare will receive close attention. Your influence during training will, of course, be of great importance, and I look forward to enjoying your cooperation.
Thank you.
Aircraft Apprentices Association. I am delighted to be here on this historic day when we celebrate the 75th anniversary of the founding of the Royal Air Force Apprentice Scheme. Apprentices who have graduated from #1 School of Technical Training have served the Royal Air Force and the nation with distinction. And I remember how pleased I was to recognise it by awarding my colour to your school in 1952. Your traditions, formed in some of the most difficult days of the 20th century, live on in today's Royal Air Force and will inspire future generations of airmen and airwomen. It now gives me great pleasure to unveil this tribute, which will reflect the vision that Lord Trenchard had all those years ago, that gave rise to one of the finest aeronautical engineering schools in the world.
Not around your...
There we go.
Trenchard was a single-minded commander with a strong sense of purpose. He put the Royal Air Force on a permanent basis. Trenchard realised the need of highly trained young technicians to look after the sophisticated aircraft of his day for the Royal Air Force. The Halton apprentices, Trenchard's brats, were born. This sculpture celebrates the apprentice scheme started by the Lord Trenchard at #1 School of Technical Training. Over 40,000 boys, many from Commonwealth and Foreign Air Forces and from the Royal Navy, all affectionately known as Trenchard's brats, graduated from Halton between 1922 and 1993. The sculpture represents the brass cube test undertaken by the apprentices during their training and incorporates the wheel badge, which was worn proudly by generations of apprentices.